This is Jarrod Horak for the RunawayHorse.com, and I'm continuing my 2021 Road to the Kentucky Derby video series. Last week we kicked it off with the American Pharoah Stakes. This week we're going to do the Breeders Futurity from Keeneland. Let's look back really quick at the American Pharoah Stakes. That was definitely an upset there. Actually, the two horses that were going from turf to dirt finished first and second in this race. Get Her Number for trainer Peter Miller. Flavien Prat was aboard. That one was the winner at 8-1, was able to get up on the pace and open up in the stretch by about 1.5 lengths, and then hold off Rombauer. And that one rallied from last place to finish a clear second. Now, Spielberg for trainer Bob Baffert was your morning line favorite, was still a maiden coming into this race and still a maiden leaving this race, was best of the rest in third. That one was tracking the pace. As for my top choice, I went for a price Waspirant for trainer John Sheriffs. That one made a nice middle move to get up to third, was in contention heading into the stretch, and then just flattened out and ended up finishing fourth, well clear of the rest. And the other favorites besides Spielberg disappointed as well. Touchdown Brown, a California bred, never really got involved. And then notable exception, shipping in from Arlington Park, ended up running last. So that was that race. And as for the speed figure, didn't come back particularly strong. That race didn't seem that strong. So heading into the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, I would say that the horses coming out of the American Pharoah Stakes could be in a bit of trouble heading to Keeneland for that Breeders' Cup Juvenile. They're going to have to run much faster. And with other races coming up, such as the Breeders' Futurity, which could be a key prep because it's at the course and distance of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. And the Breeders' Futurity, a Grade 1 race. The purse is $400,000. It's going to be run on Saturday, October 3rd, 2020 at Keeneland. It's a Kentucky Derby 2021 points race. 10 points to the winner, 4 for second, 2 for third, and 1 for finishing fourth. And the post time in this race, 5:24 p.m. Eastern Time, and then it will be the 9th race at Keeneland. And let's go right through the field, then I'll give out my top selection. The one is Super Stock. This one's trained by Steve Asmussen. They paid $70,000 for this one. Plenty of experience. He has 4 starts with a win, a second, and a third. He broke his maiden in the Texas Futurity at Lone Star in August, and then last time in the Grade 3 Iroquois, the first Kentucky Derby 2021 points race. He stalked the pace. He finished third, so he already has 2 qualifying points for the next Kentucky Derby, and he drew the inside post. He's probably going to save ground stalking the pace at 8-1 on the line. The 2 Upstriker. This one's was a sharp maiden winner first time out at Ellis Park at 6.5 furlongs. He was up on the pace. The pace wasn't that quick. So in a below par pace, he was up on that pace, and he was able to pull home and win easily by more than 5 lengths. Joe Talamo rode. He's going to ride back. Ron Mouquet is the trainer for this one. The Dams had 10 starters with 7 winners. Upstart has been a promising young freshman sire. So Upstriker seems to have a lot of upside in this race, just like many of these. The 3 Notary for trainer D. Wayne Lucas. This one's $185,000 Keeneland sales grad. Street Sense is the sire. Tabasco Cat, the Dam sire, and D. Wayne Lucas trained Tabasco Cat. And this one's run 3 times, was 5th in the debut, didn't really threaten, stretched out to a mile second time out, got up on the pace and won nicely. And then in the Grade 3 Iroquois last time out, from post 10, that was the outside post in that 10-horse field, was chasing the pace, was right up there, at least turning for home, and then weakened to finish 6 by 11. It's going to have to run much better, but he should impact the pace. The 4 Essential Quality is your 2-1 morning line favorite, but there's a couple others in here that could end up being the favorite in this race. He's going to certainly be one of the favorites. This one is owned by Godolphin. Brad Cox is the trainer. Tappet is the sire, so he should be able to get extra distance. In his debut at Churchill Downs on September 5th at 6 furlongs, he was in an 11-horse field. He was back pretty far. He was 6th, about 7.5 lengths back early. He made a strong middle move to get to within third by a length, and then he kept moving up in the stretch, and then he pulled away to win by 4 lengths. He was the favorite. That was a strong effort. Didn't have the smoothest trip, but he really looked good in that race. As I said, with Tappet as the sire, this 2-turn distance should not be any problem for him. Luis Saez rides. He's probably going to stalk the pace, stretching out second time out. Keepmeinmind, the 5 at 30-1 morning line. Robertino Diodoro is the trainer for this one. The Dams had 10 starters, and this is one of her 7 winners. And this one did not win first time out. So the Dam has had 10 starters and 7 winners. This one actually finished second first time out. And that was a good effort. A 1 mile race originally scheduled for the turf at Churchill Downs on September 2nd. He stalked the pace from an outer post, and he just kept grinding away, and he finished a good solid second in that race. Obviously, this is going to be a tougher spot. They're just taking a shot here probably. And if he runs well, that's great. They can go back to a maiden race. Since the race was originally scheduled for the turf, maybe they want to run him on turf in the near future. We'll have to see what direction they go. But Keep Me in Mind should be stalking the pace, but it's going to have to really step up second time out to compete with these. Dixie's 2 Stents. This one is 12-1 morning line. Number 6, Raphael Baejirano is going to ride for trainer Doug O'Neill, and ran well on the debut at Del Mar. That was a nice effort. Was up on the pace and surged in late stretch and just missed by a head. That was at 5 furlongs. Then jumped into the Grade 1 Del Mar Futurity last time out. Was 2-1 against Dr. Scheibel and Spielberg. Didn't really fire there. Didn't have a great start, and then he never really got involved, and he ended up finishing last, beating 14 lengths. So now he's going to stretch out in distance for the first time. Obviously that debut was good. This one was a $60,000 Keeneland sales grad. We'll have to see what direction he ends up going. Maybe he's better sprinting. Maybe he's not ready for stakes company. He's still a maiden after 2 starts. Maybe that's going to be the case, but I think he's going to be up on the pace. The 7 Calibrate for trainer Steve Asmussen, 7-2 morning line. This is one that's certainly going to take a lot of money. He was the 2-1 favorite in his career debut at Saratoga at 6.5 furlongs on August 15th. In that race, the pace was solid enough, a little bit below par, but pretty close to par. Dueled on the lead and put away the other horse that was battling with him and pulled away to win by more than 4 lengths. So that was a nice effort. Ricardo Santana Jr. was aboard, and he's going to ride back. This one, Keeneland, September 2019, they paid $340,000 for this one at that sale. Distorted Humor is the sire. This one, Dynaformer is the dam sire. So plenty of stamina in there. It's going to be up on the pace as well, and would not be surprised if this one improved at all. The 8 Founder, this one's the one that could end up being the favorite for trainer Chad Brown. Is 5-2 morning line. This one was a $600,000 purchase, and in the debut in the mud, that was a nice effort. He was actually last early. Got to mid-pack, and then in the stretch, he was all over the place in the stretch. He just could not keep a straight line. It was a race that was in the mud, but he overcame all that greenness to win by a neck. It was a strong, if you can watch the replay, I'll try to check out that replay. It was a nice looking victory, overcoming a lot there. And then the runner-up by a neck, highly motivated, came back and broke the maiden in his next start. So that's a good sign that he beat a good horse despite not having, despite being very green. And then that runner-up did come back to win. If he can get this distance, he's certainly going to be a big threat. Obviously, they paid a lot for him. Great connections as well. So don't be surprised if this one runs well. And I think that he may actually end up being the post-time favorite when they break from the gate. And then finally, number 9, King Fury. This one is 12-1 morning line for Kenny McPeak. In the debut, he looked good. It wasn't a super fast race, but at Churchill Downs on September 3rd at 1 mile and a 16th, he was post 10 in the 12-horse field. He was wide throughout, stalking the pace, and he pulled clear, and he won by almost 3 lengths. But that was a nice effort. Curlin is the sire here, and they paid $950,000 for this one. So we already know he can get the distance based on the debut, and there's still a lot of upside here. So as we're dealing with these young horses, we don't know. There's some maidens. We have some horses that have already proven themselves at a distance. Some horses, they broke their maidens sprinting, stretching out for the first time. They're so all very lightly raced. As we saw in last week's American Pharoah, we're just not sure. They're going to continue to sort themselves out on the road to the 2020-21 Kentucky Derby. But this race, I'm actually going to go with the 4 Essential Quality. I know he's the morning line favorite, but I'm not, like I said, I think Founder's going to be the favorite, and this one is going to certainly take some money. But I like that effort in the debut. I like that strong middle move, tap at the sire. Brad Cox, excellent stats, first route, graded stakes, and with his maiden winners, trying winners for the first time. So there's a lot to like about this one. Good post position, probably going to show tactical speed. So I'm going to go with Essential Quality, but there are numerous horses that are capable of winning this race, including Calibrate for Steve Asmussen, would not be surprised, and Founder for for trainer Chad Brown. Would not be surprised if that one ran well. And then King Fury already has the experience, and they paid a lot for him. So there's a lot of promising horses in here. We'll have to see how they sort themselves out in this race and heading into the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. I think you're going to see at least a couple starters, if not the top three, pointing to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile next month at Keeneland. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, make some comments in the comment section. Who do you like in this Breeders' Futurity Stakes at Keeneland on Saturday, October 3rd? Make sure to check out my final Preakness 2020 preview video, which I'm posting today, with my top choice for the 2020 Preakness Stakes available in that video. So that will wrap up this week's video, and I'll be back next week looking at another 2021 Kentucky Derby points race, the Champagne Stakes. Until then, good luck at the races.